Sit back, strap in, and get ready for After Hours with TC Restani. This is Abigail Harwich, executive producer, welcoming you to the show. And now, TC Restani!
Alrighty, welcome to the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast, the final episode of 2024. I'm here with my esteemed panel of experts. Let's go around the horn and introduce them in case you don't know them already. QB, Quincy Briscoe. What's going on, QB?
Not that much. How about you?
Sitting here chatting with you on the final podcast of 2024.
Yeah, how quickly time flies when you're having fun.
Who said we were having fun?
Yeah, wait, we're having fun.
I ain't having fun until you got to dial 911. All right. Also here in the podcast penthouse, Ricky Bittman.
Up and away, hey.
Up and away, hey.
Up and away, hey.
It's after Christmas Day, hey.
And we're glad.
I am. As much as I'm a sucker for Christmas,
Yeah.
I have to say, yesterday I said to myself,
Yesterday.
boy, it's nice it's over.
You know what? I'm like Quincy. I don't dislike Christmas 100%, but I actually like the build-up.
100% right
You
there.
know,
I know exactly what you're
from
saying.
the day after Thanksgiving until maybe like a week before Christmas.
Nothing beats the anticipation.
That's good. Actually, Christmas Day itself is a letdown.
It is, because it's a pain in the ass. You're exhausted.
Right. You know,
You're
Christmas,
exhausted.
Christmas Eve is fun and whatnot, but it's just like, all right, you know what? It's over with. So that's why I kind of like, I don't boycott, but I like to take it off.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm not really a big fan of Christmas Day.
Now, if I had my druthers, we would have just hung home and just cooked for ourselves yesterday. But,
Yeah.
you know, Tasha's nephew, who opens his house to the whole family, very nice gesture, and the food was outstanding. And his wife made a pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Oh, my goodness.
pie.
Oh, it's delicious. Most delicious pecan pie I ever had in my life.
Really?
Was yesterday. And I had no business eating it. I weighed myself before
Why not?
Christmas, and I
What do you
said,
mean you had no business eating the pie?
oh, Quincy, I got to make some changes. But the biggest mistake I made was weighing myself on the 23rd of December.
Uh-oh.
That just depressed me like you would not believe.
Pie is good.
It is. Speaking of, I got news for you on the Abbey front.
Oh, sure. Did you get a Christmas guy? I didn't get a Christmas bonus.
Well, maybe. I mean, Tosh has three sisters.
Three sisters.
One of them is flying out to Florida probably for the next 4 months.
Wow.
This Saturday. So the remaining three sisters had tickets to the Celtics game, which is on New Year's Eve at 3.
Wow.
Guess who they invited for the 4th?
Abby.
And she's going. Now, this could work negative for both of us, TC. I'm not bragging. This is not good. Well, you know, they like each other. It's good for us. Let's just put it that way.
Right, you know. I'm not going to no Celtics game.
No, I'm not. I'm not either.
You know what? Let Abby go. She's executive producer of the program of Restani Productions. But it's just, you know, we had that 8:00 meeting.
Yeah.
That we mentioned in the last episode.
Oh, that's right. In AM.
AM, not PM. So I had to sign a non-disclosure.
This is serious.
So
Wow.
it could be a good thing.
Oh.
I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. It's not going to happen. I can't talk about it.
Hence, non-disclosure.
Non-disclosure.
I wouldn't expect you to.
We can't talk about it until January,
Well, that's only a few days away.
the end of January.
Well, that's a long time away.
You know, I know what it is. You know, I had to sign the non-disclosure, even though, isn't it weird? I own the damn company.
You know, people do email me about that. They say, "Wait a minute, what happened? Why?" You know, and I said, "Well, you know, TC's an entertainer.
Right.
Abby's a business person. You know.
Yes. That's why she's been absent from any of the podcasts or anything like that. I mean, she has a little Twitter and whatnot. You know, and she tweeted out today where she says, "Oh my God, I wish I could sleep till 2025."
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, well, you know.
I think it's nice that the ladies get together because I did hear one thing, and I didn't have to sign no non-disclosure.
Okay.
She was something to the effect that's like, "I'm always surrounded by blokes." And she just is like kind of a negative thing. Like I can't blame her. Like, you know,
bloke is a European slang.
Yeah.
Right. You know, they
For men.
especially in England.
for the fellas.
the
That's
fellas.
She's sick of rubbing elbows. You know, it's a sausage fest. you
Well,
know?
you know, it could be a good thing. I don't know for her, I guess. But yeah, so I had that meeting at 8 a.m, and I had to sign it. and I can't talk about it until the end of January. But she said I could hint about it.
Oh.
Hint.
All right, I'm ready.
I can't do it until January.
Oh, you okay? Oh, okay.
Right,
So the hints begin in January. The reveal comes at the end.
The
of
end
January?
of the month. I don't know what day yet. She's going to let me know when she comes back. She's going on some business trip.
Okay.
She's going with. Actually, she's hanging around with Sabrina somewhere.
Oh,
The
she's
former
back in
executive.
it?
Well, she actually never left the corporation. She got like a big. I don't know what the hell she got. Everybody get these promotion things and whatnot. I'm still sitting here talking to you schlubs at the podcast penthouse.
Things are going so well. I hope she doesn't put her in charge of things and just dials it all back.
Sabrina brought us to 5 first place winning best
but it just,
talk show awards.
And then she just went on her merry
Then
way.
she just vanished. She didn't vanish. She just got a promotion. I guess all I can say about that. Good for her.
Have the doc call in and give his 2 cents on that.
Well, I was thinking about that not too long ago. I ran across some pictures, and if I can find them, I'll put them on the screen right now, where the doc was totally disgusted by her. He put a jacket on her and all that other stuff.
He had to be her valet, sort of.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. That was God. That was like.
And I remember it was because of the whole the thievery thing, wasn't it?
Oh,
and,
yeah, they thought when Jeff was buying her off or something.
Yes, and it turned out I believed I didn't believe anything.
You believe the tabloids.
The doc sided with the negative side of Sabrina. Something to that degree.
I like all sides of Sabrina.
Isn't he fresh, Quincy?
I mean, fresh.
With a pH? I see you get your cream of wheat milk.
That's right.
That looks good. That looks refreshing. But yeah, I'm glad Christmas is over. I'm on to the next thing.
Is it ever, man? I'm worn the hell out of it.
I know. You were busy. You were inviting me to all these parties and whatnot, and I said I couldn't make it. And
quite all right. You just to know that you're invited.
I was busy, and I had things to do and whatnot. But
and you guys like your Chinese food. I mean,
right? We went to the world famous Peter Wu on Christmas Eve. A bunch of us from Restani Productions there. Quincy Briscoe was there.
I saw it.
And they know me so well. As soon as I sit down, they're like, DC, and they bring over my hot and sour soup with extra scallions.
Hot sauce soup?
Right away. Actually, they don't talk like that.
Hot sauce soup?
No. Gene and Steve do not talk like that.
Hot sour soup.
There you go. It sounds a little bit better.
TC, do you want your hot and sour soup?
Yeah, they don't even ask. They just bring it over.
It's organic.
No, we had...
Scallions are organic.
Because these Italians, we had stuffed clams.
Are they Sicilians?
No. Calabrese. But then they went over to the Italian food, the melanzane, the chicken palm. You like the chicken palm, Quincy? No, you're not a big chicken palm?
I love chicken palm.
Yeah,
what's melanzane?
Melanzane is the Italian word for eggplant. So when you get your chicken parmesan, you get your eggplant palm.
I love eggplant.
And you would have liked it. It was
I had eggplant today.
It was very thinly sliced.
By strange coincidence, someone was talking to me a little bit about Italian foods. Well, there's pizza, but then once in a while I'll get like shells with
shells?
Well, like macaroni or what they call shells.
You know, macaroni came from China. You know that, right?
Ooga!
That's where spaghetti came from. All the pastas and all that.
And then put meat sauce on it. And then there's plenty of sauce for bread.
So think about it. When you have spaghetti, you're actually having Chinese food.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The Chinese invented the noodle, and the Italians perfected it.
And I really thought that was supposed to be Italian.
They never had the ginger scallion noodles at Peter Wu.
Well, yeah. Well, I get you.
Because Quincy even goes, and that looks like spaghetti. I go, yeah, it is. It's noodles, but they have ginger scallion. It's so good.
Ginger's good, but I do like my angel hair and meatballs.
Once in a while, like meatballs are okay.
Quincy, you like beef and steak. Why don't you like meatballs?
And you're Italian, aren't you?
Well,
you have Italian blood in you.
A little bit. Yeah,
what do you like, Chef Boyardee?
Oh, the Boyardees.
Well, every now and then, for a quick fix, Chef Boyardee meat raviolis.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Cold. I like them cold. The ravioli's cold.
I would say I've eaten them both ways.
When I come out of that can. It just tastes, I don't know, like pizza. You can have it either hot or cold.
You can't be bothered.
Right. It was like you in a microwave that took you 45 minutes to heat up hot chocolate down here the other day.
That's because I forgot, but next time just hit
you were trying to do 1 minute. You kept putting it in for like 2 seconds. All you hear was beep, 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 done. And you did it about 45 times. All you had to do is hit 1, 0, 0, start. 1 minute. All I kept hearing was "Dee-dee, eep, dee-dee, eep."
Was it warm eventually?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
after
did.
20 minutes.
Well, actually, it was like 29 seconds a couple of times.
Whatever it was. As long as you enjoyed it, that's all that counts.
Yeah.
I remember I saw who was the comedian there that had the fight with Johnny Carson? Joan Rivers.
Joan
I
Rivers.
saw her live one time.
Did you?
And microwaves were just starting to come into their own. And she said, "Oh, Elizabeth Taylor, she's the only person I know that stands in front of the microwave oven and goes, 'Hurry up!'" I thought it was a funny line because it cooks everything quicker.
I know. I know.
Tough crowd, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, did you get any nice Christmas gifts?
Tasha and I really didn't do Christmas gifts. I did actually. My buddy Mashu gave me a very lovely pencil drawing of a pint of Guinness. Now I know on the surface that sounds kind of, but it was framed, and it's this beautiful, like sort of artistic drawing of a pint of Guinness.
Wow.
Which is very
like
nice.
a Norman Rockwell-y style?
It's sort of, that along. It's a piece of art.
It is a piece of art.
And Gina Salzmino Valentina gave me a hardcover Jimmy Buffett book.
Wow.
And I got some beers. Talk about beers a little bit. Got a big surprise coming up about beer. You're not going to believe, and you're not going to think I can do it, but I'm going to do it. What else did I get? Tasha and I, we gifted each other that trip to Florida, and we're going to gift each other a trip to Florida in February in a little bit. So, not a lot.
Did you enjoy the Christmas bonus from Restani Productions?
Of course I did. I didn't know we were allowed to talk about that.
Well, since I'm the one who has signed the check.
Ooh. Let's just say it was
Quite tasty.
It was quite tasty.
Mm-hmm.
What did you get, the bath towel or the VHS player?
I got the 4K Blu-ray.
Wow. No. We give out good Christmas bonuses down here at Restani Productions. Don't you agree, Quincy?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Did you enjoy yours?
Oh, definitely.
You don't have to tell anybody what it is. You don't have to tell
brought
anybody.
that beautiful jacket.
That was a nice jacket you got there, Quincy. It'll keep you warm when you're out there riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, the jackets, I guess, got to be very picky on what you're going for when you're looking for jackets.
Will you try that on for me later so I can take a picture of you wearing it?
Sure.
Of course he's gonna. He's a fashion plate.
Yeah, people would be interested because I'll post it on the group.
There we go. Speaking of that, we got to get more members in there for crying out loud.
Well, yeah, it's a busy time of year. We'll do that.
Well,
We'll do that.
it's over. Christmas
Well, it's-
is in
Listen,
the rear.
For a lot of people right now, it's not over.
I think it is.
If the traffic today was terrible. I mean, when by the Stone Zoo, all the kids are going into the Stone Zoo.
Well, it's the
tonight.
Christmas vacation. I mean, I don't think that's
Yeah.
our demographic
But a
right
lot
there,
of
the kids.
But I'm just saying, a lot of people, their parents,
Well,
people
that's
are
true.
still busy.
That goes into like January 2nd.
And now, right now, I would say sometime around 9 o'clock tonight, everyone's going to go, oh, New Year's Eve is Tuesday. And then they're going to start going batshit again. So,
What is it to do on New Year's Eve? You sit there and you watch a ball drop and you go to
if
bed.
you're having people over, it's a lot of prep. I wouldn't have people over.
Yeah.
I toyed with my ideal New
See,
Year's
I
Eve.
don't have people over to the mansion. I go to people.
I listen.
That way I can get out of there if I feel like it.
You like to party on New Year's Eve. I don't.
Right.
I really don't. I
Like
can't
to
stand
party like it's 1999. Even though that was 25 years ago.
It was a great song, though.
It was a great song. And they whacked him because he was going to expose the New World Order.
Yeah,
so
Prince.
I knew that.
He was a very funny dude. I hung out with Jay Leno a lot.
Wow.
They did. Jay Leno would have him on the. They prank each other. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not.
I got some Jay Leno information and some Johnny Carson information tonight too, as well. But we won't get into that.
Did you get that off of Bill Maher's show?
Did you? Oh, so you heard that?
Oh, of course I watched it. Yes.
Wasn't it? Is it now you? So you like the Bill Maher thing?
I like Bill Maher.
Yeah, but I'm
Even-
just saying. I was trying to get you to listen or watch that.
I watch it.
Yeah, isn't
Club
it-
Random.
isn't
I
it
do.
great?
I know. I like the setup. It's in his basement.
Now, have you ever heard that story before?
I never.
That was pretty wild.
The one
huh?
where the mafia was going to
Yeah.
whack him. Yeah.
So if you haven't looked there, ladies and gentlemen, go to the web. Go to the what is it? The
Club Random on YouTube.
Yes, and look that up because it's a fascinating story. I know now that saves me from reading it because I had the whole story here.
Well, in case the people don't know it, it was we can abbreviate because it was a very long story.
It really is, and it's funny. It was so basically Carson and his lawyer, was it Bushwick or Bushwhack or Bushnick or something?
Bushwhackers.
Like that? They were in a
Luke and Butch.
They were in a nightclub in New York City, and they started getting frisky with these two women.
Yeah, this was during the early days of the Tonight Show.
Yes, and they wouldn't back off. Henry Bushkin was his
Henry
lawyer.
Bushkin, yeah.
And there's Jilly's. They were at Jilly's saloon. Sinatra's Jilly's. Sinatra's guy Jilly owned a saloon. So this was 1970,
Yeah.
and they're getting frisky with these two women. But come to find out, and these guys were trying to discourage them, saying back off. Come to find out, they were two gumas. You know what gumas are?
Not really.
I do.
They're the girlfriends of the heavy hitters of the mafia. So the mafia strongmen are like saying, you guys got to back off. And they wouldn't. And they had to go after him. And they put a hit out on him.
I know.
And Joe Colombo, okay?
I know. Hey, one of the five.
Exactly, okay? He went to NBC. Now, there's a legitimate hit out on Johnny Carson. They're going to kill him.
At 30 Rock.
Yeah. He went to NBC and said, if you cover the Italian parade, we'll pull the hit on Carson. The Italian Day Parade.
When was that?
It's a 5 families-backed event in Manhattan, and it was largely ignored by all the networks, but NBC agreed to broadcast it in exchange for Carson's safety.
Because, well, don't forget, he was a cash cow then. He was almost 10 years into the Tonight Show.
But the fact that they had that would be like going on to say, all right, you're going to broadcast the South Boston St. Patrick's Day Parade, okay?
But no one would care if any of the talk show hosts, other than me, got whacked today.
Right.
No one would care.
No. Matter of fact, I think people would cheer that. And,
if Jimmy Kimmel got whacked tomorrow, no one would care.
No one would care.
No one would care.
No. And, I could listen to Jay Leno tell his show.
Is it now? Here, think of this. Was that the reason why he 3,000 miles to the West Coast?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That was 70. He didn't go till 72.
Yeah, maybe they ran him out of town. Leno himself.
Could that have been one of the things in The Godfather? The Corleone family got that kind of money pull anymore.
That's right.
You're being chased out of New York by Barzini and the 5 families.
It's very good. I think you might be onto something. There's another chapter there.
There's something hitting going on there. Because why would you leave New York? I know the weather's better out there, and they had more access to celebrities and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you had just done 10 years in the Big Apple.
The Big Apple.
And this story just came out.
Yeah.
I never heard it before until Leno talked about it a couple weeks ago.
I was so excited to talk about this tonight, too.
I think he ran away.
It would make sense. Sometimes, you got to be smart about these things.
I mean, there was a mob influence out on the West Coast because of Vegas and whatnot, but they weren't going around whacking people at, Grauman's Chinese Theater.
West Coast Mafia.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to make him an offer he'll love.
Paul Lynde was a Don, right?
Oh, he'll be wearing cement slippers.
That's not good either.
No, especially not out in Hollywood. It gets very, very warm.
Imagine that, like you're sitting in your car and Charles Nelson Riley and Paul Lynde show up to kill you. I'm going to tickle you to death. I give you such a pinch. Rip Taylor's throwing confetti in your face. That's the West Coast Mafia. Now, did you hear Leno tell his little story?
Remind me.
He was a young stand-up comic at the time, and this guy come up to him in New York City.
Oh, $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he politely refused it, and the guy said, you're a smart kid.
I've done that to, I'm rubbing my nose here to certain people. I've done that, then you owe them.
Yeah, exactly.
You owe them.
And Leno played it right.
I remember when I used to hang around a certain place.
Yeah.
It was it was kind of like a private stripping agency.
Mm-hmm.
And
a private one.
And they always had, it was always being catered and whatnot. And I always insisted, that I contribute.
Oh yeah.
I didn't take anything on the arm down there because I know, talking to my my Italian uncles and whatnot. Even if it's a piece of pizza and you don't pay for it, and they go, "Hey, I gave you that slice that time."
Money talks.
No. Always.
Yep.
Contribute.
True. We used to go to the joints up in Montreal. Me and my buddies back in the day. You know who we would tip bigger than the dancers?
The doorman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he'd bring you to your seat.
Sure.
And we would pool our money, and he'd walk away with about, back in those days, walk away with $30-$40 in your pocket. It's pretty good for taking 4 guys to a table.
Right.
And we got the best service of the night.
Right. No. I was taught very young by my uncles and said, never get anything on the arm.
Yeah.
If you're in control, then you get on your arm.
Sure. If it's your arm.
But if you're going to a place and they offer for free, always contribute.
Always.
Because, too, it makes you look like you're polite and you're respecting them.
So when you go on a flight, Quincy, and they offer you a free cup of coffee, what are you going to do? Pay for it?
Yeah. Who's going to, where am I going?
Well, we were talking a couple weeks ago about free coffee, and you were like, now we're talking.
Yeah, what if someone, what if someone named Guido offered you a cow for milk? Are you going to accept it?
First of all, who's Guido? And second,
I'm just using it as an example, all right?
No, because
all right, good.
You can act like a man.
Well, first of all, I don't milk cows, and second, who's Guido?
I'm just using it as an example, all right? His name is Jimmy, all right?
Jimmy the cow guy.
Yeah. Jimmy the Udder.
Yeah, the other Jimmy.
Right. Yeah, you want to squeeze? This is a cold word. You want to squeeze of the white stuff.
Oh, I get no. I'll just get milk. You know what?
What's some vitamin D?
I get you now.
you go.
I don't want a cow.
All right,
I
fine.
would say don't have a cow, man.
But you're a fan of getting stuff for free, right? You like that.
Oh, it depends. Well,
Trust me. Hey, how many stuff have you gotten free out of me?
That's why he owes you so much.
That's why, you're going to be floating in a milk river somewhere, Quincy.
That's why there's no workmen painting the walls of this joint. It's you.
It's you. It's right. You can get anything on the arm. Your family.
Of course.
Your family.
And your talent.
Your and the talent. You're kidding me? You're one of the most talented individuals I've known in the history of my life.
well, I would want to stand in line and meet someone. I'll try and help you, and
You've given back more than you know.
Certainly have, that's for sure.
look at the
Crispin
fun we
Glover
had.
will attest.
That's true. Hi, Steve.
Well, look at the fun we had over the summer.
What do we have over the summer?
Well, we met someone like
Who? Who do we meet?
Who
Who is
Artie
this?
Shaw? You met Artie Shaw?
Oh, that's the Leave It to Beaver theme.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Jerry
Yeah,
Mathers.
but you paid for that autograph.
Yeah, but the thing was, I stood in line and then sat in line.
Okay, as long as you had fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
and then-
did. We sat in the car, and he went out and stood in line.
He did.
And
Made all sorts of friends.
yeah, and then
Rochi, you met Rochi.
Yeah, remember Rochi?
I met so many people. I
Yeah,
can't
you
remember
met plenty of people.
names.
So many people, you can't do it.
Like how you don't want to ever hurt anyone's feelings. It's so
No,
noble.
that's right. Yeah, well,
Very noble of
well,
you.
the thing is, if you stop mentioning names,
Oh, yeah.
you don't want to get. How come? So I'll say, well, let's say the fans, because a guy like me meets a lot of different people, and but the thing is, like, I got this through quickly. It's like timing basis. Well, why don't I get in line right now? And no sooner I got in line, after I just had a nice quick lunch or some root beer and onion rings. It's time to get in line. And no sooner you get in line, the line starts building.
What a treat.
And the line starts moving. It's like,
It did move me. Yeah, we had a lot of gas, I heard that day.
Yeah.
and it's like, then there was a chair there, so it's like, yeah, I'll take the chair.
The onion rings went right through you, I heard.
Right?
Remember how beautiful the weather was that day? It was gorgeous.
Well, that's another thing. It was a nice day out there. I'd get in line,
It's the end of August.
yeah.
and
Now
we
we're
didn't,
freezing our asses off.
well, we didn't have to get in line for too long. I kept, it was only for like a half an hour, and
And that was up at Sports World up on Route 1.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Now, getting back to the Johnny Carson thing.
Yes.
If they didn't do that parade and they did whack him, who do you think would have taken over the Tonight Show in 1970?
Don Adams.
Don Adams.
Hey, you asked me,
All
man.
right, all right. But wasn't Get Smart still on?
They could have gotten
I mean,
someone else to
theoretically,
do
who
that.
would they have gotten if Johnny Carson got whacked in 1970?
Okay, well, who were your big wigs at that time? You got Tom Schneider. You got Mike Douglas. You got... None of them could have carried it. None of them. No.
They were all...
Maybe Tim Conway?
Merv?
Yeah. Merv couldn't have done it.
You don't think so?
Did you ever see the famous clip of Merv Griffin asking Jack Benny, he goes, do you remember the first laugh you ever got? And Benny, if you know Benny, Jack Benny sat there like this, and he just looked at Merv, and then he'd look back at the audience, and people slowly started laughing. Then he'd go, that is the stupidest question I have ever. And the whole audience erupted, and they showed Merv. Merv was just laughing because he realized it was stupid.
They probably... You know who
Merv couldn't have carried it.
who they probably would have given it to?
Brett Reynolds.
Joey Bishop.
Yeah, I could see that.
See, how many times did he sub for Carson?
Yeah. You're right.
You know, he wouldn't have lasted 30 years.
Rickles, maybe. Rickles
Could have done it,
Yeah,
sure, but he made big money out in Vegas.
True. He had his own issues with the mafia.
Right, but he had Sinatra to back him
That's
up.
right.
Sinatra could have done it.
I used to like to watch those old Dean Martin roasts, and he goes, Frank, some people here to see you. Bamba Janisi, Mr. Banga Banga. And like Sinatra would just like crush himself and just laugh. He just
I
always-
remember that, sure.
Yeah, it was funny stuff.
Unbelievable. So what do you got for notes in front of you
Well,
guys?
you know, a couple of things. I just wanted to talk about my gigs that I had over the holiday break.
Oh,
And,
yeah?
I had to do Santa Claus down in Weymouth.
Oh.
And it was the night of the storm.
that's not an easy thing to do.
No, it isn't an easy thing to do. Thank you for saying that, because everyone thinks it's a breeze.
Well,
On
it's
top
not.
of the fact I had to do it, I had to drive from here down to Weymouth, which normally would take 35 minutes, 2 solid hours. And when I got there, everyone is drunk, which was good for me in the sense that they thought I was funnier than I could ever be.
And you could leave early. They wouldn't even notice.
Oh, no, I couldn't leave early. So I did the whole Santa routine. That went over pretty good, and that suit is very hot. Don't ever kid yourself. It's very hot, so I had to get changed back into my regular clothes. Had a couple slices of pizza and a couple chicken wings. Didn't really eat as much as I wanted because I was starving because I hadn't eaten.
And what'd you have for a beverage?
That night, I did have 2 bottles of beer.
That's good.
Just 2.
2 bottles of beer on the wall.
Yeah. Because then I had to host the music game that I invented. We did the trivia music game, and I had to play 3 rounds of that. I didn't get out of there till 2:30 in the morning.
I mean, Santa host.
No, Santa doesn't host. Santa does Santa, and then I change into my regular clothes.
And you hosted what kind of game?
It's a music trivia game. You would love it. But there's music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000 country music and movies. And you have to guess the name of the song. That's all. Now, it sounds lame, but when you get a big competitive crowd,
Name that tune?
Yeah, but it's like it's with cooler songs, and I got buzzers and everything, and you can do challenges and all this stuff, and it becomes very competitive and very fun. But then Saturday I had to go to Mr. Dooley's Old Fashioned Christmas in Boston, and from there, because our buddy Dennis O'Gorman was performing.
You sent me the video. Yeah,
he was playing your favorite song too.
That's right.
So we hung out with him for a little bit. Then we went over to the Black Rose to have some dinner, and we got no service. We sat there for like 15 minutes. Nobody came over the table. I said, come on, let's get the hell out of here.
You couldn't have used...
Not there. She's British.
Oh, sorry.
Black Rose is an Irish bar. So I went up, I gave the menus back to the young lady at the thing, and she's like, what's the matter? And I was like, goodbye. And then we drove to Medford. Now, here's a place I want to go with you guys someday. You ever heard of Shanghai Moon 1987?
Is that across the street from where Mike's Gym used to be?
Yes, it's on me.
I
Main
know.
Street, or was that whatever street that is in Medford?
Yeah, that was right up the Hungry Herbs was down the street.
Yes, exactly. It's on that same street.
Yeah, I know. I used to know a guy named Larry that drove around in. It was before like Uber and whatnot. So it was like a livery service.
Yeah.
He goes, I can't stand the one-way streets in Boston. They bother me, and I try to get over to Hungry Herbs before they close because I love their steak tips.
Your whole visage changes when you do this voice. I love it.
But I don't like the one-way streets.
Some people really struggle in life.
I'll let the cat out of the bag. He used to drive strippers to private dances and whatnot. All right. But he always pulled me aside. He goes, TC, I'm out here at 2 a.m. bringing one of these girls to do a dance routine for 45 minutes. And, Hungry Herb stayed open on certain nights. But the goddamn one-way streets and the red lights, they always made me late.
He has a point.
And I had to go to Kelly's on the beach and freezing my nuts off.
Yeah, well, he's got a point.
That was Larry. Larry One Way.
I heard Hungry Herbs was famous for their brown gravy fries, but I never got the chance to experience it.
I had their steak tips. They were very good. Yeah, but I know the place you're talking about. It's on a corner.
It used to be the Panda Palace or something there. Now it's Shanghai Moon 1987. So Tasha and I went there, played some Keno. They had great little Chinese food there. We had some beef fried rice, and I said, this is Quincy's favorite. It was delicious.
That's awesome.
And they had a lot of vegetarian dishes and things like that.
Wow. I'll have to go down there, but it can't be a Woo night.
No, I'm going to say right now, it will pale in comparison to Peter Wu, but it just had sort of like a hometowny neighborhood friendly.
Was it very kind of like dimly lit in there?
No, it wasn't bad. It's very festive. It really was.
Really? Okay, because I like the dimly lit Chinese places.
Well, it's not like this, no spotlights, but it's like it was nice. I think you would like it. But you got to sit at the bar.
I used to go to Dempsey's across the street for breakfast.
For grilled muffins, yeah.
The corn muffins.
They used to grill them right on the flat top.
Yes, I used to go there with Larry a couple times.
I bet you did, Larry and his corn
Larry, because he used to wait for Hungry Herbs to open up. He should have been a spokesperson. Then I saw Larry, 20 years later at Kelly's up on Route 1.
Yeah.
And I was standing in line and I just heard, I just wanted a roast beef. And I turned around and I go, Larry, and we were standing between the aquarium. The big aquarium there?
Yeah.
So we were kind of peeking through the aquarium, waving at each other. And he comes around and I go, you get any steak tips? I'm loyal to Hungry Herbs even though they're closed. And I got a goddamn roast beef and I wanted it 3-way. And they gave me pickle mayo cheese. That's not it. It is a 3-way, but not the 3-way I was looking for.
Well,
that was the last time I saw Larry.
Oh, poor Larry. I wonder if he's around still.
I don't know. I'll have to inquire some of the connections I know. I don't even know his last name.
He'd be a good guest.
I just knew him as Larry.
He would would be a good guest to find some of those trips.
The guy that used to pay in the quarters.
I have to see your face telling this.
The guy who used to pay in the quarters because he owned a laundromat. I guess he paid all the girls off in quarters.
Well, it's like the face you put on it. He's like sad but happy and sad at the same time.
He kind of looked like if Fred Flintstone and Yukon Cornelius had a kid. All right? Larry was the nicest guy, but all he complained about was the one-way streets.
Yeah, the one-way street. Well, life, like I said, life can be
because he had one of those big SUVs, and they're a pain in the ass to drive down those one-way streets. Like down by the waterfront, those one-way, the little cow pads. You'd think they could have made a bigger street for me by now. It was the 20th century at the time, and it's like, I can't drive these things down here. The Pilgrims didn't realize that I would be driving.
This guy will complain about anything.
I'd be driving around sluts. Larry, you're out there. We love you, bro.
Yeah. Come. We got to get him on the show. I bet he has some great war stories.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Well, then from there, I did Santa Claus again on Christmas Eve, and that didn't go too late. And then yesterday, we were at Tasha's nephew's till after 12, and I was up at 5:30 this morning, and I took a nap around noontime today. But I'm still going. From here on in, it's easy street for me. Oh no, wait a minute. Now we got my family's party on Saturday, which for some reason I keep forgetting about. You think I would remember that? I keep forgetting I have to do that Saturday. But,
So what do you do? Go out, buy some food, bring it home, and then
well, my
sit down?
family, everybody brings something. So my sister who's having us over, she'll have something, and my other sister who's coming, she'll make something. Then some of the young kids, they'll bring something. So I go up to Prince House on Route 1 and get their chicken fingers. Everyone seems to like those. And they come with some dipping sauces. So I
knew
bring
someone
those.
who liked to chip and fingers.
Yeah. Him and I like wings. Him and I, we like
Chip and wing.
Wings are good.
I like steak tip.
I have a problem with those steak tips.
Do they make them one way or?
They're made out of cow. So after that, that was it as far as, but they took a lot out of me. It really did.
You just make it look easy, but it's not.
Thank you, Quincy, because I do. The show must go on.
It
I
just
love
must
that.
go on.
The show must, as Three Dog Night would say, but I must let the show go on.
But you want to know something I learned?
What's that?
I learned a valuable lesson on Christmas Eve.
What's that?
Not everyone likes me. I ran into a
How
very...
can they not like you?
Oh, I ran into a very hateful fan, Quincy, on Christmas Eve. She tried to take the wind out of my sail, but you know what? I wouldn't let her do it.
When was this, and who was this person? Do we know this? Is this person on the payroll?
I can't say, but...
Is she a fan of?
No, not a fan of any of us.
Good.
You know what she said about me?
What?
I'm very cocky.
What are you, the honky tonk man?
Me? I mean, is there a more self-effacing comedian that you know? But I'm very cocky, I was told.
Is this a person?
Cocky.
Is this person elderly?
Oh, yeah. Older,
Okay.
Yes.
You go out there, you do what's needed. How can they not like you?
Well, like I said, I mean, you gotta. I have to learn every now and then that not everyone likes me. I do the best I can, but
That's all you can do.
inevitably,
Was she Sicilian?
no, as Irish as the day is long, which makes her, to be honest with you, more dangerous than a Sicilian. Vindictive, with a grudge holding, evil sniping. Came at me with both barrels. A little bit of spittle coming
She
out.
related in some way?
To a degree, yeah. I'm just allowing enough information out there that we won't get sued. You know what I'm saying? But like the spittle was coming out in the eyes. What happened?
You know how you should have. You know how you could have gotten rid of her?
Oh, I had some ideas, but I want to hear what you think.
Start the rosary.
Take the rosary and throw it in the corner. And it's people like that.
These bleeds.
It's people like that, though, I find, because she's that way, very holy. They can be the cruelest.
Sure.
Yeah. Very cruel. Really treated me very cruelly.
Did her last name begin with a Mick?
Almost.
Ah.
I'm just going to leave it at that. But you know what? I apologized. I offended this person. And I just bit my tongue. I offended this person. And I really just said, listen, I have to get used to the fact that not everyone understands my sense of humor. I apologize if I offended you.
Just give her some Irish bread and a Budweiser.
Oh, dude, It almost took the wind out of my sail for Christmas Eve. I got a little bump.
Well, she's 100% Irish. You know you can say.
Oh, what?
We have one of our own that's 100% Irish on the other side.
That's true.
That's going to fuck with you now.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
Yeah. I'll be planting police academy dialogue in her head when she's asleep, or have her listen to Mentors music.
Oh. Yeah, it was a little, but you know, it was like I said, it was a valuable lesson. Is this a mouse turd? No,
I don't think so. We had the cleaning people in here earlier.
just kidding. So yeah, I learned that valuable lesson on Christmas Eve. But you know what? I learned from it. That's all you can do sometimes.
There you go.
But I'm a very sensitive person. It just like really kind of it hurt my feelings deeply, Quincy. Imagine that.
Yeah, I'm like, you're out there doing the very best you can, let alone it's a holiday, and they criticize you. Like, come on, now get.
People just don't know how to roll with it sometimes. You go in and you give people a hard time, and they some people know how to roll with it. Like my buddy was a cop. Mike Flip a Coin is his name. Imagine that, Flip a Coin. You can bust his chops all day long, and you know what he does? He busts them back. That's what guys do. You guys still here?
I'm still here.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking of a way you can get back at this old.
Oh, believe me, I have my thoughts. But
this old biddy.
yeah, if Paul Helen was still alive, he would fix this situation. for me.
Dialing the number. as
Oh
we
yeah.
speak.
Listen, you goddamn bitch you. That's what he would say. But I'm gonna let this slide. I'm gonna put it behind me and just forget about it. But
Could be her last Christmas.
what's that?
Could be her last Christmas.
It could be, and hopefully it isn't, but
Is Rusty still in the Navy?
so do you know anybody that doesn't like you? Because I don't know anybody that doesn't like you.
Once in a while, you mean enemies, but just put it behind you.
I'm not going to bring up any names on the
Oh, that's
program,
right, yeah, well,
but
there's a
there are some people out there.
Well,
We're starting the new year now, so we'll do the best we can with it.
see, I can see people not liking me. I can't see anyone not liking you.
We'll have a new year, and we'll go with the nice people.
That's right.
How's that?
Turn the page.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Kamala was going to do?
Here I
That
am
woman.
on the road again. Turn
There
the
I
page.
go up on the stage. Here I am playing like a fool again. There I go. Turn the page.
I know that song. I know that
It's a
song.
great song. Great saxophone solo in there.
It is a great saxophone.
That and you know what song always gets me that he sings? Main Street. You would like that. You ever listen to the
Down
lyrics?
on Main
Just
Street.
talking about he would like watch through the window this this girl that was kind of his age doing dancing in nightclubs. Like, I guess she was a stripper. I don't know. But he had like a crush on her because she was like so young and pretty and all that. And he would wait for her outside and stuff like
Well,
that.
Restani headquarters here is on Main. So you see the weirdos that walk around down here?
Yeah, lately I'll tell you, boy. Oh, yeah. Remember last week when we were leaving that crazy kid?
Yeah, that kid with the authorities, the Restani security system.
Yeah, he was gagging.
I don't know what that was all about.
He came running down. I went out first. This kid comes bombing down the street and he's gagging. And I hate the sound of people gagging.
Well,
yeah, he's like, oh. I almost thrown up listening to it. And the cops pull up and they're like, hey, come here. And he's like, no, I don't need your help. I'm all set. And the cop goes, you're not going anywhere. And pulls him over. And then they start questioning him. Then he does the whole, puts his hands behind his back. He's a martyr. Oh, go ahead and arrest
I
me.
am not resisting.
So, but I don't know what the outcome was. We'll have to get the neighborhood newspaper. Maybe
I'll have to find out through the our cameras and whatnot.
Jilted love. Oh, I got a funny story for you.
Here's a funny story.
You want to hear it, or am I boring you tonight?
No.
Sometimes I think I'm taking things over. If I just say, Ricky, just shut up.
Ricky, don't shut up.
Okay.
Tell us the story.
This was a politically correct Santa Claus situation.
Little PC.
Yes. So Christmas Eve, I show up at this party in my regular clothes. I have my Santa suit with me. I put it
Is this where the old lady doesn't like you?
Yes, that hasn't
Okay.
happened yet. I'm
Okay.
having a great time at this point. Santa suit is upstairs. I'm waiting for the hostess of the party to tell me now's the time to go and initiate the donning of the jester's motley to portray Santa Claus. So that's tucked away. I'm sitting there and I'm sipping on a little drink, having a little food. And this cute little girl, she looks like Cindy Lou Who. Remember Cindy Lou Who?
Vaguely.
Yeah, she's a little cute. She comes over and I said, hi, how are you, sweetheart? What's your name? She doesn't answer me. Maybe 3 years old, 4. I don't know. But,
A child.
Exactly. But a very cute, demure little young lady. And I was just so impressed because she was, how some kids are like she was obviously communicating with me, but still quiet at the same time. Wasn't afraid of me. She was a nice little kid. I was like, that's nice. So when it came time for me to come downstairs as Santa, who do I see? One of the first kids I see this little girl who I don't even know her name now. But I carry a leather strap of Jingle Bells, a real leather strap of actual Jingle Bells that was used on a sleigh. And I give it to her to hold for me. Like, here you are, sweetheart. You hold those for Santa. And she's like, oh, my God. You could tell she was so excited to hold these gold bells. And I go over into the chair they set up, and I'm handing the presents out. And, a couple minutes go by, and then I see her standing there, and I'm like, oh, my God. I said, now I'm doing my Santa voice. Oh, I said, who does this little young lady belong to over here? Look at this. Who is this cute little girl? And behind me, you know what I hear? Henry. And I'm like, Henry, where's Henry? And I'm thinking, this is Henry's daughter. And they're like, no, that's Henry. And I'm like, no, this little girl, Henry. And I'm like, for Christ's sake, what's this little girl's name here? Now, there's other chatter going on, so only a few people are hearing this. And Tosh comes up behind me and punches me in the back. She goes, that's Henry. And I'm like, okay. I don't know what to say. So now I'm calling this little
Henry with an I?
Exactly. Henri. Okay? So I'm like, all right, I better just shut up because I can't, because sometimes I'll freewheel it and start making jokes like Santa. But because one of the jokes I had, we might have to beep this one out. Because I was going to say, everyone's like, hey, Santa, how's everything going? How'd your year go? I always say, oh, man, the elves. You got to hire all these different people. I said, there's trans elves now? I said, for crying out loud, you know what I say about trans people? They ain't what they used to be. That's a great joke. So anyway.
Back to Henry.
After all is said and done, I come downstairs and I am told that Henry is the child of this very lovely couple that I met, two young ladies. Henry is their child. Now notice the way I'm phrasing this. And Henry hasn't let them know yet if Henry is a boy or a girl.
And she's 3. Or he's 3.
Yeah. So they're waiting for the Henry to let them know. Now
they're gonna have a gender reveal party or something.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If little girls are made of sugar and spice, this is 2 little girls here because she was that sweet. And a matter of fact, when I was leaving, I forgot my bells, and I turned around and I said, Henry, where's my bells? And she went and she unzipped her little purse that she had, and she goes, I don't know. And I'm like, she looked in her purse. It was like the cutest thing, And but I learned a valuable lesson. You got to be very careful of Santa nowadays. There's different rules. There's different things.
Well, you seemed like you had a joyous time over the holiday season.
Well, I can bitch about anything, just like Larry the driver there.
Yeah, they need to go one way.
Exactly. They ain't what they used to be.
It's a steak tip. Maybe Henry likes steak tips. With a Y or a Y. Those are neutral, right? Unless they're vegan.
I did tell a joke though on when I did that gig down in Weymouth for the adults.
Right.
I said, I sat around today watching Christmas movies all day. Has anyone here seen Tits: A Wonderful Life?
Did they?
One kid did say he saw it.
The 1994 classic.
So that was it.
I enjoyed that movie.
I bet you did. Yeah, I mean,
several viewings. You didn't even have to be in the holiday season to watch it.
It's the holiday. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, it would do. I mean, Christmas in July. Yeah, I can see that.
April, September. Didn't matter. It was long as it was there. It was good.
Some of them were good. Yes.
Some of them were real good.
I remember Flesh Dance. That was the hot title everyone wanted to rent when I was growing up.
Flesh Dance.
Flesh Dance. Yes.
As in Flash Dance.
Exactly.
Who was in this?
I don't know, but she was a young African American girl. Let's keep thinking.
Well,
and she was really.
Would it have been? This was with Heather Hunter.
No, it wasn't her. She was a little more buxom than her.
Buxom, okay.
And much darker.
Okay.
And but I do remember she was running around in this white thing a lot. But
I've met Heather Hunter a few times.
Really?
She gave me an autographed copy of her autobiography.
Wow.
And I said, we have a common friend in common. Yeah. Not anybody in the adult entertainment industry. Bobby Heenan.
Really?
Remember the 4 episodes of the Bobby Heenan show?
Okay.
The show that inspired me to do all this.
That's right. We have him to thank.
The 4th episode, he had on Heather Hunter.
Wow.
And she was talking about the movie that she just made called Coming on America. And he was like, oh, and Bobby being the fool was like, oh, the one with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. Arsenio Hall is a great friend of mine. And Jameson, the little weirdo sidekick, goes, now, Bobby, that's not that. He had to whisper, she did what? And on the original version that aired on the USA Network in the summer of 1989, she did a striptease for him.
Wow.
But on the Peacock Network and all that stuff's been deleted and whatnot.
Boo.
So when I met her down at one of the conventions, I think it was back in like 2008 or 9, I said, we have a mutual friend. And she goes, who? And I said, Bobby the Brain. I love Bobby Heenan. She goes, that was great. She goes, do you know him? I go, I see him from, time to time, which was true.
Yeah.
And I had his address. And she goes, oh, she took one of her books and she signed it to Bobby.
Wow.
And I mailed it to him. Now, I don't know if he ever got it, but it was his address.
Isn't that cool?
Isn't that kind of weird?
Was he healthy at the time when this was going on? Or was
In 2009, he was not.
No, yeah.
He already lost part of his jaw.
That's
and what? If it was 6 years early when I drove him around, he would have known who it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that, he must have got it because I had his address and I sent him stuff down there from other people before to get autographs and it came back and whatnot.
Oh,
so
nice.
I knew it was really his address. So somewhere, I don't, his daughter has it in a box somewhere. There is an autographed autobiography from Heather Hunter, the guest on the 4th and final episode of the Bobby Heenan Show that I got for him down in Edison, New Jersey back in 2009.
Gee, you got a memory, I'll tell you.
So I thought when we brought that up, I thought it was a good old Heather Hunter.
It's a very small world, isn't it, Quincy?
It is a small world.
It is a small world.
After all.
It's a small world we're living in, and we'll just go over the good stuff.
Did you see any drones over the weekend?
I did, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a few of them, actually. I'm finding the ones that I've been seeing have red and white lights.
Uh-huh.
I'm not seeing anything with like blue that would be an airplane. Matter of fact, I swear I saw one on the way here. I walked here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't take the Chariot.
You know what I think? There are many rumors around what these things are. What do you think you think they are?
I don't want to say because it's kind of depressing. The story I heard, the one that I'm tending to believe the most is they're searching for a dirty bomb. That's what I've been thinking.
All over the world?
Well, I mean, in New Jersey in particular.
Well, everything in New Jersey's dirty. So
See, well, that's true. Everything's filthy. But I think that's where it started. And I think the ones we're seeing around here are just people droning just because they want to drone and get attention.
You're probably better. My thinking of this, because I am in the world of entertainment.
Yes.
I think this is just a big ploy for the new Superman movie that's coming out in July.
Really?
Because the tagline is "Keep looking up."
Now you got me thinking.
Could this be a giant ploy by Warner Brothers?
That's interesting.
7 months out that keep looking up.
Yeah, well, we're halfway there. I mean, listen, anything is possible, for crying out loud.
A movie I watched the other day was The Day After.
Oh, the one with the
nuclear bombs?
Yeah, okay.
But the one that's actually better was an HBO movie made in 1990 called By Dawn's Early Light.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
That was with Powers Booth and, what's his name there? Ed Wood.
Johnny Depp?
No, the old guy.
Oh, Martin Landau.
Martin Landau, Rebecca De Mornay.
I can't believe I just pulled that name
James Earl Jones. It was very, very well done. It was about a military pilot who had a bomber, and they didn't know if it was actually happening or, it was just a rehearsal and whatnot. Very good movie. It happened, but you have to watch it. It's way better than The Day After.
Now, The Day After, when was that?
83.
That was wasn't that a made-for-TV movie?
It was a made-for-TV movie directed by Nicholas Meyer, who did Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Jason Robards in there?
Jason Robards. Steve Gutenberg went by Steven Gutenberg. and a couple other stiffs. John Lithgow was in it.
I remember watching that. No, that was 1983, you said?
That was the spring of 83.
So I would have been 18.
I was in the 6th grade, and they had shrinks in the thing the next day.
Yeah. I remember being scared of
this. They had on a Sunday night, and I laughed at it because the effects sucked.
He was in the 6th grade, and he laughed at it. I was 18, and I was afraid. Because I had just enlisted. I just had registered for the draft, and I was convinced that Ronald Reagan was going to get us in the war.
Actor?
Yeah. The actor?
Let me put it this way. We're all in the 6th grade, but 95% of us
You're still in the 6th grade after, 47 years?
Jethro Bodine.
Yeah, I'm an entertainer. I got the mind for 6th grade, but we do everything over because we cater to kids.
That's right.
With 6th grades, You know, you got to cater to the kids, so we do it in our own personalities and styles. You know what? We make a lot of progress.
Now, you got to remember why I was dissing the special effects. Because Return of the Jedi was about to come out.
Yeah.
We already had the Star Wars movies, had the Star Trek movies and whatnot.
well, they probably didn't want to go whole hog, you know.
Well, but I mean,
I was scared enough.
I mean, it wasn't like the nuclear blast in Terminator 2 when she had that dream.
No,
This
I wasn't afraid of that.
This was just like they like froze like X-rays and they just evaporated.
Yeah.
It was pretty piss poor, but it didn't bother me.
Well, that's what we grew up in, you know, that Cold War type of thing, and I really thought it was going to happen back in those days.
Because I was looking forward to V. I was going to debut in a couple weeks after the day after.
I'd rather deal with aliens than no nuclear holocaust. Personally.
And did you realize the CIA just admitted that there was life on Mars that built pyramids on there?
When did they admit that?
A couple days ago. I've been saying this
How the
for
hell did I miss that?
I've been saying this for years.
You have been 100%. The face on Mars,
The
everything.
Face on Mars, Richard C. Hoagland, Art Bell, and these people are now doing it. Because you know what? I think they're preparing us as either as a psyop or something's really coming here.
Well, I used to think that when they made all these movies like E.T. and Close Encounters that they were trying to prepare us for something, and it never happened. So,
What about Planet of the Apes?
hey, I always say I'll be on the side of the apes.
Gorillas, orangutans, or
Oh,
chimpanzees?
the chimps. I get along with the chimps. The gorillas, you don't want to waste the time with them. And the orangutans, you know, the eggheads, they're no fun.
You didn't like the gorilla that was done by James Gregory from Barney Miller?
Oh, no, he was good. Yeah, he was
He was in the second one.
Yeah, he was. He's the one who said the famous line, "The only good human is a dead human." He was in, was it Detective Luger or Sergeant
Yeah,
Luger?
the second
or something?
Luger. He's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, he was a great actor.
Because I was waiting for him to go, hey, bah,
Yeah.
you know?
And James Whitmore was also an ape. He was not Red. Who else was here? Remember when Shawshank Redemption?
Oh, he was Brooks.
Brooks was here.
Right.
He was also an ape.
In which one?
He was probably in Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Yeah. James Whitmore.
That would have been better if it had, you know, a longer plot
Yeah.
or longer, you know.
Beneath?
Beneath.
Oh yeah, it was.
I mean,
very
it wasn't rushed. I mean,
No, it just didn't have the meat.
and Charlton Heston didn't want to do it, so they got a clone of him.
Yeah.
Who actually-
James Francis?
Who actually looks more like James Remar from The Warriors.
Yeah.
Nova was a smoke show.
Oh, I have a signed Planet of the Apes poster by Linda Hamilton.
When people think of sci-fi hotties,
Yes.
you know, they throw in Princess Leia or,
Yeah.
or Wilma from Buck Rogers and whatnot. Everybody skips over Nova.
Yeah, no, she was a force.
Linda Hamilton, well, not Linda Harrison.
Linda Harrison. I'm sorry,
Linda
I just
Harrison.
said Hamilton. You're right. I'm
Linda
thinking of,
Harrison.
T-
Well, you know how she
T2.
got that job because she was doinking Richard Zanuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from 20th Century Fox.
Well, she was sexy.
And then she went on to be in Cocoon as the daughter, Wilford Brimley's daughter.
But she met her demise in Beneath. They shot her.
They did.
Yeah. Yep. It was a machine gun that shot her, too.
She's been in a million conventions around it. She still has a good looking head.
I have the poster signed in gold ink. My buddy Mike from
yeah?
Southie got that for me.
Who else is signed on that poster?
Just that. I couldn't. I mean, everyone else is dead from that poster, so what can you do?
Nothing.
No.
You could get Lou Wagner to sign it.
Lou Wagner. He was Lucius.
He was. He was also the
young-
mechanic on Chips.
Yes. He had a funny voice though in Planet of the Apes.
And he, go
Uncle
ahead.
Cornelius, why are you doing this? Like really.
He was also the drummer in Hello Down There. Glove.
Oh, that's right.
Gloves, glove.
Oh, jeez.
If Jeff was here, he'd go.
Yo.
I didn't think I'd wake up this morning and we bring up Lou Wagner's.
Well, that's the beauty of this podcast.
that you
See?
never know what you're going to
You
get.
don't. You really don't. I always say that. You know, we come in here sometimes very sluggish thinking, and you know, I just make a couple of notes, but you never know where we're going to wind up.
How old is Lou Wagner? I mean, that movie came out, what, 50?
Let's see. We always
50,
forget to do this.
55 years ago,
I want
roughly?
to get a laptop so I can look these
I
things
think
up.
so. You're going to get a lap
Easy.
dance from Lou Wagner.
Wagner, wait a minute.
A lap dance from Lou Wagner. Sticking his like nipples in my face.
Is that who I think it is? The guy that goes, by the way, my name is Max.
No.
What the last name Wagner?
No, no, Robert Wagner was Jonathan Hart.
84
I know.
years old.
You're thinking of Lionel Standel or something, whatever his name was on Hot Dot. By the way, my name is Max.
Can I take it both?
He's
Take it easy.
84, Lou Wagner.
Hello down there, Chips. Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, Beneath. He was in all of them.
Wow.
He was in Airport.
Was he always Lucius in all of them?
Yeah, he was Lucius the Ape in every one of them.
Wow.
Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Which episode?
It doesn't say.
Oh,
I'm sure we could go down that rabbit hole.
we don't need to.
He was in Puffin Stuff, the movie, in 1970. He must have been one of them.
Was he one of the little puppets?
Probably. He used to run around.
He was small enough.
See if there's anything else we know. No, that's about it. But he's in a ton of goddamn movies.
All right, what about Linda Harrison there? What has she done other than Planet of the Apes and Cocoon?
Let's see how old she is, too. Linda, I'm going to get a laptop so I can do this easier.
Okay,
I owe it to the show.
If he's 84, she's got to be close.
79.
Yeah, close enough.
Yep, and she was married to Zanuck from 69 to 78. And she was in, it says here she was in Planet Beneath and Escape. They must have been a flashback in Escape. She was in Behind the Planet of the Apes, Cocoon, of course.
Was that a movie with Heather Hunter?
That was a good one. Way Out with Jerry Lewis. The Fat Spy. Jeez, I'll have to look for that one. That sounds interesting. Then a bunch of documentaries about Planet of the Apes. Yeah, she hasn't really done a lot.
And Cocoon was 85.
Yes, sir. Very good. Jeez, man, you're amazing. That's awesome. I would never have guessed that. She was in Airport 1975.
Oh, the one with Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
A reunion.
Yeah. I wonder what the hell she played in that.
Was she on the plane?
It doesn't say.
Because I'm sure I would have noticed that.
Let's see.
Was
More cast.
Was she a stewardess in another airline?
No more.
Was she married to what's his name's character? What the guy was in all the movies there.
I'm scrolling through all of them, and now I don't see
George
him.
Kennedy.
He was in all the disaster movies. She was the prostitute that he left dead in the bed when he went to get on the plane.
My brother Fredo didn't own this place. It's like she never existed.
Would anyone care for some cookies? They're still warm.
That was her line?
No, that's what he said in one of the Police Academy movies. I used to do that line for Jeff. Jeff used to like that.
Who did that?
George Kennedy, when they were talking about like a murder or something like that, all of a sudden in the background, George Kennedy.
Oh, you mean Naked Gun?
Yes. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, he was never in Police Academy.
Would anyone care for some cookies? They're still warm.
We met him.
What was his character's name in Naked Gun? George Kennedy's.
All right, wasn't God.
It's not Frank.
Frank Drebin was Leslie Nielsen.
Yes.
Nordberg was OJ.
That's right.
I don't remember.
Well, say his character's name was Frank, because a buddy of mine pointed this out to me. When he does that whole thing, they're still warm. Leslie Nielsen just does this. Not right now, Frank. Just the way he just does this like cold take on him.
We met both of those guys. They
George
were
Kennedy,
tremendous. And we asked George Kennedy not about Naked Gun.
Yeah.
We asked him about Cool Hand Luke.
Of course. Lucille.
Yo, Lucille.
We're gonna go get us a couple of farm girls that'll really show us what for. And then we're gonna break Coco out.
Yeah.
Then the terrible threesome
Very good.
We'll be together again.
Oh, man. You did that good. Good, Coco. Get out of my eyeballing seat. Oh, okay. Linda Harrison was Winnie. Doesn't say who Winnie was, but she was
well, and it gives me an opportunity to watch Airport 75 again.
available on Tubi. I believe.
I'm sure it is. I'll have to. You know what? If I don't do anything New Year's Eve, I'll watch that and find Linda Harrison.
You got to watch a double feature, though, on New Year's Eve. What's the movie you have to watch on New Year's Eve? It's another disaster flick.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
There's got to be a morning after,
so we can hang on through the night.
Now, I meant that was, what was her name? She played Nani on it.
Oh,
She was in Playboy also. Carol Lindley, was that her name?
yes, Carol Lindley.
Okay.
Yes.
In my mind, she's Nani.
Yeah.
Fast forward to a Chiller Theater in like around, I'm going to say 98, 99.
Yeah.
They had a Poseidon Adventure reunion of everybody who was still alive,
Wow.
minus, of course, Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Rogo was not there either.
Wow.
But he showed up a few years later in his Borgnine. Very
I'm
nice
not
guy.
doing that. I'll get jerking off to do.
And I'm thinking in my mind, Nani, she had those tight orange,
Oh, yeah.
that sweater and whatnot. She was a knockout. I get there. It looked like Miss Tisdale from the Dukes of Hazzard. Remember the woman who had had a crush for Uncle Jesse, and she was also Adelaide on Different Strokes.
Oh, that's awful. Oh my God.
So mind you, in my mind, it's
Yeah.
like, Nani was hot.
Yeah,
I love the Poseidon Adventure. When I first
Yeah.
saw that down at the Granada,
Yeah.
when I was probably like 8 or 9, I was like, things were tingling for Nani,
Yeah,
especially
those
when she had the wet shirt and all that other stuff.
yeah.
And I'm like, in the back of my mind, Nani was one. Nani had it.
I'm not leaving here without you.
Yeah, I wanted to be red buttons when I went to this fucking convention.
They did not get along.
Really?
I read that recently. Did
Wow.
not get along during that movie.
So-
How could you hate red buttons?
So I'm ready.
How could you hate me?
I'm ready to go to this. Now, I know she's going to be older. I'm not a
Yeah,
fool.
of course, yeah.
But when I walked in, and I was looking at Jeff, I go, is that Adelaide from fucking Different Strokes? And he goes, if it was, I'm going to go get a picture with her. It was Nani. I was like, I didn't even get the autograph. I just went up and went, hi.
Yeah,
It was just such a disappointment.
Yeah, it is tough. It's like when I see Bridget Fonda nowadays. 'Cause she was such a friggin' babe.
Does she have Han Solo frozen on the wall somewhere? I mean, all these.
And I know. Listen. We all get old.
I understand that, but
but-
when they put it on the website and they throw a picture of Nani,
I mean, it's the price you pay when you go into entertainment. You're a beautiful woman. I mean,
Right.
eventually this is going to happen, and you just. But
it didn't happen to Jacqueline Smith. She's still a knockout.
yeah, I mean, some people.
Raquel Welch was still a knockout.
Yep. Carole King looks good. I used to always have a thing for Carole King. She still looks good.
I think it's Carol Kane from Tags.
No. Do you know Babe Newworth is 65? I would have guessed she was a lot older.
BB Newworth?
Yeah, BB Newworth.
She's 65?
Well, actually, you know what? I forgot. Why I even brought that up? You know why?
You have a bio of BB Newworth?
I have a list of celebrities who have birthdays on New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay. All right.
Would you be interested?
Is BB Newworth one of them?
BB Newworth is one of them. She will be 65 this Tuesday.
So she's eligible for Social Security.
Yes. Turning 87 on Tuesday is none other than Dracula himself, Frank Langella.
Well, Frank Langella. What did he ever see in Whoopi Goldberg?
I know. That's very
And
strange.
it's been Ted Danson. What's
There you
going
go.
on there?
Good point. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know. Whoopi, she's a vile woman.
You don't
80
like Whoopi Goldberg?
No.
No, she's a scumbag.
No. She's kind of like with Steve Martin. It's like now they're too full of themselves.
Because you didn't like her movie.
She's a scumbag. End of story.
Sister Act was funny and Ghost was good, but that was it.
She's like William Shatner. I hate William Shatner. Love Captain Kirk.
Yeah, there you go. Ben Kingsley will be 81 on New Year's Eve.
Gandhi himself.
Yep. Val Kilmer will be 65 on New Year's Eve.
Him and BB Newworth can share a.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
And Tony Hopkins, I call him Tony, will be 87.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yep.
You call him Tony. Why do you call him Tony?
Because he's a dude. He's a regular guy. He's like a guy. He's like Randy West. I was going to say you throw a couple back. He's been sober for 45 years. Sir Anthony Hopkins.
When was Randy West's birth?
That's true. Yeah. Well.
Wow. So all these people were born on December 31st.
Yeah, I did like a little New Year's Eve trivia for you.
Then you know who was born on January 1st?
I didn't go into that.
The mouth of the South.
Jimmy Hart, really?
Jimmy Hart will
New
be
Year baby.
Will be 81 years old.
He does not look it.
He looks like he just got off the tram at WrestleMania 3.
Oh, thanks, man. I told him that.
Come on, baby.
I said, what is your secret? He goes, oh, man, just a lot of clean living.
You know what his diet consists of?
Vegetables and potatoes.
Beans and potatoes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's what he has. I wouldn't even around Jimmy Hart in the morning when he does that, but he dyes his hair. We're not going to say he doesn't, but he looks exactly the same. He was on Raw. Or no, Saturday Night Main Event a couple weeks ago.
He looked great.
He looked better than the people
I
who
saw him
were
at the Kowloon a couple summers
30
ago.
years younger than him. They were there. I was like, Jesus,
fantastic.
good guy. I always thought Jimmy Hart was a very nice guy.
Penn Jillette on his weight loss journey to lose 100 pounds ate nothing but potatoes for 1 month.
2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks?
Because Kevin Smith did the same thing.
Did he have the same result?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
I tried it. I gained weight. All right.
I just don't know how that can work. I mean,
Basically, they ate boiled potatoes for 2 weeks. The secret is, I researched this, is you give all your body all this starch and carbohydrates for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And when you go cold turkey, your body's looking to eat something. It's not there. It eats your fat.
eats that. Wow.
Didn't work with me.
Yeah.
But they put nothing on it. I was stupid.
Well, yeah.
And I put on, I put mustard on it. I didn't put nothing Land
mustard.
O'Lakes or anything like that, or a gallon of salt like Quincy would.
Yeah, there's nothing bad about
It
mustard.
didn't work. I guess you just have to have the right metabolism.
Well, I'm glad we're talking about this now because I hinted at something earlier in the show. So
What's that?
When I went on the scale right before Christmas, you're gonna like this, Quincy. There's a thing that people call dry January. You know what dry January is?
No.
Okay, I've never done it.
No drinking.
No drinking for the entire month of January.
I could never do that.
No, I'm talking about drink. I'm not going to drink
Alcohol.
any beer or alcohol for the entire month of January.
Oh, then I don't drink at all. So what?
But I'm going to do it. Aren't you proud of me? See? If I can stick to it. So we'll have updates throughout the month, see how I'm doing. I'm just going to try that. I mean, I don't want to go crashing. I mean, I'll make some cutbacks and everything. And we haven't really been walking a lot lately.
But how often do you really drink?
Here's the thing. When I go out on a weekend, I mean, I can get...
Other than weekends.
Yeah, but I can get 4 20 ounces. 20 ounces, 2 beers. So 4 times, that's like 8 beers right there. And I mean, I can do that on a Friday and I do that on a Saturday. That's a lot of beer in one sitting. So that's one of the things I'm going to cut back on.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Plus, dude, I've been drinking since the 23rd right now, steadily. Well, actually, before that, the Friday before Christmas. So I'm going to just see if I can make that adjustment.
I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
No, why don't you not drink milk for the entire month of January?
I don't think so.
He already said he can't do it.
Oh, well, see, I don't drink anything other than water, so I can't give that up.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
I wish you the very best of luck.
So I got to just make some adjustments. But I'm going to start with that one. I actually went cold turkey for 2 solid years once.
Wow.
Did not have a drop of booze for 2 years.
Did it work?
Well, I wasn't doing it because of weight loss, but I did actually lose some weight while I did it. I mean, it definitely, 2 years definitely made a huge difference.
Uh-huh.
But then I came stampeding back to the old.
Now, walking by the brewery in the first floor of this building, will that?
I'm pretty good with willpower when it comes to that.
Okay.
Food is tough because, one of the things I'd love to be able to cut back on is bread. Bread is not your friend. Lenny Clark said that to me one time. I said, Lenny, how'd you lose so much weight? He goes, dude, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Bread is not your friend. He said that. So.
Lenny Clark's great. We need to get him back on down
I would
here on
love
the program.
to. He'll go to a restaurant and instead of ordering dessert, he says to the girl, do me a favor, hon, go in the kitchen, just bring me a little dish of whipped cream. And she brings out just a little dish of whipped cream. And he eats it and he's like, all my cravings for sweets are completely gone with just eating this little dish of whipped cream. He goes, then the next thing you know, they're coming on me. This one over here wants the whipped cream. This one wants the whipped cream too. I said, put it on the fucking menu for Christ's sake. Sell it.
There you go.
They probably do.
I don't know if I'll do that, but.
Coming in February,
Yeah.
it'll be my 18th year soda-free.
Wow.
18 years.
That's good. Yeah, I might be up. Well, I definitely have cheated. You have nothing.
Never.
Yeah, okay. I've had a few Cokes and a few root
Nope,
beers here and
never.
there. But for the most part, I'm like you with the seltzer water.
Nope.
But I have definitely cheated.
Tonight I'm drinking the heavy stuff, the heavy water, the Poland Spring.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Because for some weird reason, I drink a lot of this seltzer water,
Yeah.
and I'm going to the toilet.
Yeah.
Every, like 20 minutes and whatnot. I don't know because it's the carbonation and whatnot that's in it.
Probably expedites it.
So I'm having some of the thick Poland Spring water. The thick water. Heavy water. The heavy water there. And you know what? It actually is heavier than the seltzer
Yeah,
water.
the sparkling does have a sort of, the effervescence makes it feel a little light.
Well, I like it because when I gave up the soda 18 years ago, I needed that carbonation, sensation.
Yeah. I like that.
And you get it from
Yeah.
the seltzer water.
100%.
100%. When you get those burps and they're in your nose and whatnot.
See, I only drink 100% plain seltzer. I don't like any flavored seltzer.
I have
water.
to. Red ruby grapefruit is
Yeah,
mine.
that is good, but I just
I
said
used to be the lime guy,
Yeah, that didn't do it.
and I did that for like 10 years.
The raspberry isn't good.
No,
and
any
the
of that other
lemon.
shit like coconut
Yeah.
and like
oh god, I wouldn't
vanilla.
even try the vanilla. Fuck that.
No, it's
no.
no.
I just go 100% straight, plain. That's what I do.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, but I'm gonna try to do no beers, no Guinness. Oh god, that's gonna be tough. But I'm just gonna see if it makes any difference.
So
at all.
just pray for shit weather,
yeah.
so that way you can't go out anywhere.
Well, I think you can almost guarantee January is going to be shit weather. But see, you know what I mean? And I don't have any big social events.
February you do down in Florida. Though.
Yeah, I mean, but down in Florida, I take it easy anyway, believe it or not, as much as I talk shit. Down in Florida is my time to relax, just to do things different. So I think I'll be in good shape.
So do you have any New Year's resolutions other than the beer thing?
Just I got 2025, I've got to get back to my pre-COVID weight,
Oh, yeah?
which is about 35 pounds away, believe it or not.
Well, I signed an exclusive deal with the nutritionist Janine.
Really?
Yeah. I'll be doing that starting in the Januaries.
Wow.
It's right across the street, right from Restani Productions, so I have no excuses.
Oh.
I'll be working with Janine.
Well, you'll have to give me some tips.
You mean like the steak tips from Hungry Herbs
No,
and whatnot?
not those. Well, you could probably eat those. Well, you can.
I won't, but I like the treadmill. Yeah. I mean, you're just walking. I'm not running. I'm not running or anything like that. Janine, I'm not running. I'll be with Janine.
I walked here tonight, but we haven't walked in a long time.
Yeah, usually see on the security camera walking by the podcast penthouse.
It would be probably the Sunday before Christmas, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that was probably the last time we walked.
Wow, it's too cold.
Yeah, because this past Sunday, because of the snow, I mean, it was the icy conditions.
Yeah, this is our first white Christmas in like a million years.
Yeah. Boy, did that hit hard. I mean, geez, 6 inches of snow pretty much took us out of commission for a few days.
Well, I went out to the Peter Wu with Airwolf Chris.
On that Friday?
That
must have been a bitch getting on.
Well, he had he's got one of those giant pickup trucks that have
Nice.
like 8-wheel drive. The thing was huge and whatnot. So we just plowing
that's
down
good.
hills and
Where do you
whatnot.
park that over at Peter Woo's?
Right in the front on Broadway. We have a spot there.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And it was great. The place was relatively packed that evening. We're New Englanders, They said we were only getting an inch to 3 inches, like an Irish snowstorm, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we got 5 inches of snow.
That was horrible. It was one of the worst nights of my life.
And it was unshovelable. It was like rock hard, like in like 2 hours.
Yeah,
like,
that was
It's like
bad.
snow Viagra or something.
But it was funny. When I did Santa that night, I drove to Weymouth dressed as Santa because I want to get as used to the suit as possible. So I'm in the
Did
suit
they
the
have
whole
more
time.
snow or less snow?
Less. There was hardly anything down there. But the funny thing is, the traffic we were all boxed in, and everybody's moving at the same slow speed. So cars would come by, and they'd see me as Santa, and like sometimes there were kids in the car. So I was entertaining people on 93, and I said, somebody's going to shoot a video of this, and it's going to be a TikTok. Is that what the kids do now?
I guess.
Of me as Santa.
Well, it's a good thing Santa Claus didn't hold up a liquor store down there somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And they
But
were
there
like,
was
we saw him.
There was one guy in the car to the right to me, and he's like waving to me, and I'm like pointing at my watch going, and he just started laughing. Santa.
Hey, fuck you, Santa.
I was waiting for that.
You didn't bring that thing to me in 1972.
I will say this, no matter how threatening the person looks, and I've run into this before, when you're dressed as Santa, everybody loves you.
You think Charles Manson had that reaction?
Yeah, I bet if he did and people didn't know it was him, I don't think this bird that I ran into the other night, though, I think she could have smelled that it was me. She would have hated me even more because I had Santa suit on. Kris Kringle. She didn't like Kris Kringle.
Now, he has 3 names, aliases, maybe even more.
I only know of Kris Kringle and Santa.
Santa Claus,
Kris Kringle.
Saint Nick,
Oh, that's right, St. Nicholas.
Kris Kringle, Father Christmas.
Father Christmas.
So he's got all these
Father
aliases.
Christmas, yeah.
Well, who's he hiding from?
That's a good question.
And Santa Claus, that sounds like a Spanish name.
Yeah, that's true. Santa Claus.
Seriously.
He's a German.
He was.
Yeah.
What's that monster thing?
Krampus, yeah.
Krampus.
Yeah, that's the Krampus leaves whipping rods for the parents to whip their kids with.
Now, did Hitler come up with this or something?
I think it was just some German. The Hitler said, "You think that's bad? Wait till I tell you what I've got in plan."
Wait till 1932.
We shouldn't laugh. God help us.
But
the Jews have a good sense of
I
humor.
didn't have any idea what Krampus was until Jeff told me about it.
Yeah, Krampus is right up Jeff's alley.
I go, Jeff. I go,
Yeah.
what's this dude? It's like this demon, like Bigfoot fucking thing from Germany.
Yep.
That was pretty much the explanation. I was like, oh, okay. He's like a Bigfoot fucking thing from Germany.
Jeff would definitely like Krampus.
Oh, he had books about
Yeah.
it. Seriously, he was a walking encyclopedia of the odd and obscure.
Krampus.
I had no idea what Krampus was, and the first I saw it, I go, I know who will know the answer
Oh,
to
yeah,
this.
100%.
And I dialed him up, and he's like, oh, yeah, it's like some fucking weird German Bigfoot shit.
You could dial Jeff up anytime, and he would have that answer for you.
He was amazing. He was like the Time Life books on speed
awful
dial.
things in the world.
A weird and obscure nonsense. He would know this stuff. And it's pretty, 2024, man. We're going to start 25, and Jeff's not here.
Yeah.
That's just, that hasn't hit us yet.
Yeah, no, it really hasn't.
I mean, it's only really been about maybe 7 weeks, if that.
Yeah.
And it's just I just picture him ready to walk in the door.
It's very sad.
It's just,
We miss him.
we do miss him. You have no idea how much we miss him down
No.
here. I mean, Jeff was. How can you describe Jeff? You can't.
Yeah.
He was unique.
I mean, there's three of us, and if we were the Beatles, Jeff would be like George.
Yeah.
He kept it all like it sort of revolved around him a little bit.
Sure,
for
of
the
course.
Beatles. Like Jeff was the George.
You know, if we needed an answer, he knew it.
Yeah.
May not have, he may not, didn't know who the president of the United States was or anything, but, he would know what Tackleberry got on his, police academy score.
Yep.
Which was, you know what? I don't care who the president is.
Well,
I wanted to know this nonsense.
I'm thinking of this now. I actually paid tribute to Jeff yesterday when we were at Tasha's nephew's house and we were doing the Yankee swap, which is a holiday custom I detest. There's a scene in Pink Flamingos where Divine gets a package in the mail and she opens it and there's a turd in there. Okay? And she goes, "A bowel movement. Somebody sent me a bowel movement." John Waters, being the perfectionist he is, had Divine shit in the box. So Divine opened the box. It was her real.
Authentic.
Yes. Now, yesterday at the Yankee
You
swap.
shit in a box?
No. So there's about 25 of us in this little room, and what happens is when my number was 16, and rather than get up and walk through everybody, all the little kids like to pick the present for you and bring it to you. So this
Henry?
this was Abby. No, Henry was off on doing
It
her
was
things.
what?
Her name? Yeah, that's right. Little tiny Abby, she's this big. So she brings over a gift for me. And as I'm opening it, like everyone gets impatient. They go, "What is it?" And I open it and I went, "A bowel movement. Someone sent us a bowel movement." And about two people in the room laughed, but it was pretty funny.
And the rest of them were disgusted.
Yeah. They're looking at Tosh going,
Did they call that old lady?
"No, thank God she wasn't there." But
Could have been her bowel
I was going
movement.
to say, she would be the type to send that to me, for crying out loud.
Unbelievable.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to make excrement in a box and send it to him.
And on that note,
Do you want to hear some New Year's Eve facts before we go?
actually, yes, I do. You know what? We're gonna extend this show because it's the last
Well, I think this is interesting.
episodes of 24. This has nothing to do with New Year's
These
resolution.
are just little facts about New Year's Eve.
Okay, you know what? It happens on the 31st of December.
That's every year.
Every year.
The ball drop in Times Square is a New Year's Eve tradition that began in 1907, 117 years ago. That's when they started doing this. The fireworks were banned. That's why they came up with the idea of the ball. Not interested at all.
Why was that?
I don't know. Fireworks were probably banned. Probably had something to do with the war, the First World War, or something like that. Although that was like well, I would imagine.
That was 1914, I believe.
Was it? Well, maybe in anticipation they were saving the fireworks for the war.
Did it have anything to do with Bill the Butcher?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm stumped.
Okay.
I really have only the information I printed here. Americans drinks over 360 million glasses of sparkling wine on New Year's Eve, and 69% spend at least $50 on food and drink. Popular New Year's Eve traditions include serving food that symbolizes good fortune, making resolutions, and kissing at midnight. Who are you going to kiss? Who would you want to kiss?
My lips would be numb by the end of the night. If it's regular New Year's Eve, I'm not the big partying type.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be kissing my pillow because I'm asleep.
There you go. Yeah. I would like to kiss Giada De Laurentiis on New Year's Eve.
Who is she?
Giada. Italian cook, Gino De
Oh.
Laurentiis. Remember
Oh, yes, I know. Yeah,
She's
Cousin
a
Leo had
sweetheart.
a thing for her.
Oh, I still do. My goodness. She's a beauty. Quincy, New Year's Eve is the most drunken night of the year.
Even more than St. Patrick's Day?
Yep, with an average blood alcohol content of 0.095. It's also associated with a high number of car crashes and drug alcohol-related emergency room visits
Yeah, I've got
on New Year's Eve.
Did I ever tell you my New Year's Eve story
No.
about breaking down?
Yeah, you told it last episode.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry,
You
I
had to
forgot.
walk. You had to walk
Yeah,
across the
okay.
highway, and you pissed yourself to warm up.
I did. I did.
When's that episode dropping?
Probably after this one because I haven't had time to edit that one yet. That'll be a best of.
Over 50 tons of trash are left in Times Square after New Year's Eve celebrations.
But you can watch that on earthcam.com.
Yes, you can.
You can watch them. It's amazing.
Yes, I watch it.
There's a million people there waiting for Dick Clark's ball to drop.
Yep.
All right. And then they all scatter.
Yep.
And like literally an hour and a half later, it's like nothing ever
gone.
happened.
That's New York for you, although this year, man.
Well, maybe we'll blow it up or something.
They're lighting people on fire.
Maybe,
for Christ's
maybe
sakes.
drones will take them away.
Oh, about 3,000 pounds of that confetti, 3,000 pounds of the 15 tons is confetti. That's a lot to clean up. Jordan Shea Confetti Factory in Holbrook, Mass. is where Tosh Lent works.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we have a connection.
Yep. The confetti dropped in Times Square is holding secret messages. Did you know this?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
New World Order.
The confetti in Times Square has thousands of people. This.
Quincy's going to go drop his own ball somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. Continue.
This is fascinating. The confetti in Times Square has thousands of people's wishes written on them. In 2015, Wishfetti became a part of the tradition. People write their wishes for the new year and submit them to the wish wall in Times Square.
You know what Larry wishes for?
Yeah, no more one-way streets.
No more one-way streets, yeah. No more one-ways.
Or online, and those wishes are turned into the confetti that falls over the crowd at midnight.
Wow.
Just a little.
I've gone to that celebration.
Have you really?
It was 1992 into
Jesus,
1993.
you got balls. I couldn't.
And it dropped that night as well. I will never go back to that.
Yeah, I would.
Ever. That was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my. It's only worse now.
Yeah.
Because of all the bullshit going on in the world since 9/11 and whatnot.
Yeah.
We showed up there. We didn't get a spot at noon the day before.
Yeah.
We showed up in Times Square. We hung around at the Times Square McDonald's.
Yeah.
Where Charles Durning, was in there that time eating.
Yeah.
And it was people that I knew from New York and New Jersey, and they invited me down. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I have nothing else to do. It was horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, you're crammed in there. You can't go to the bathroom.
Yeah, they say people are pissing on the street.
It was just disastrous.
Yeah,
I didn't either you're going to stay over. I said, no, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I went down. I took the 3 a.m. bus out of there. I couldn't wait to get out of there.
Yeah, that's
so never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
I mean, would I do it now? No, I wouldn't do it now.
No.
But it was just, I had to do it. It was an experience.
I got to tip my hat to you for doing it because I was always afraid to do it. I was like, Jesus, I don't.
There was nothing really to be afraid about in 1992.
No, but it's just
it was just a shitload of people, and people puking everywhere.
Oh, that's the worst.
It was just horrible. It wasn't anything enjoyable. It was almost like the time when I was 6 or 7 years old, when the Centennial was going on in Boston in 1976, and we were up against the Esplanade fence, and it was like something out of The Walking Dead, with people pushing you up on it. It was horrible. Yes. I avoid crowds. I think there's a reason why I don't like crowds. That's it.
I mean, I'm not bad with them, but it's just I have no interest in doing stuff like that just to say that I did it.
Right.
The hell with that.
No,
I'd much rather watch it at home.
There was no place to escape to. No. None.
I'm going to put my Superman slippers on. I'm going to be home before midnight this year. Hopefully Tosh will nod off, and I'll get to watch some classic Three Stooges.
Why you?
Well, why don't you wrap the show up there,
yes,
Curly?
Please. Last show of 2024, Quincy.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed all of our episodes, and we hope to have you back as an audience on this new coming year. So thank you for watching every single one of our episodes. So Happy New Year. Please drive carefully, driving to and from each and every place you go to.
Be careful.
And remember, we never close.